field, blast off, watch them all fall. This is AFC North talk. Got me hype, it's about to be a touchdown. Got the Ravens, Steelers, Bengals, and the Browns. Are you listening? It's time to get it hype. Tune in when the season poppin'. Yeah, we going live. Hey, knock 'em out. Ay, first down, going hard. Yes, indeed. AFC North talk. Let's go. Hey, AFC North talk.
Welcome to another edition AFC North Talk. Here we are. We have a super chat. The polls out there, Ravens Giants. We're gonna discuss the first game. The 188 says, "How about that PFF intro? A ship rate? What? Stat on the edge rushers have faced the most ship blocks. Oh, okay. So a new stat. I see. And guess who leads everyone by 100? LOL. I'm assuming." He's a Steelers fan, so it has to be.
Is he going to make the argument that getting chipped is this, like, worse than being double teamed?
Maybe. Is that what you're saying? The 188?
Okay, yeah, man, make that argument. Cool. Yeah, I'm sure that's the same.
Let's start with the Ravens and Giants. I don't have much to say in this game. The Giants right now are struggling. Would I bet this game? No, it's a plus 16, by the way, or minus 16 in the Ravens side. It's huge lines like that. I'm never comfortable because even if the Ravens are they're up by 21, I can definitely see in a prevent defense they're like, okay, burn the clock, let go, score a touchdown at the end of the game. The Ravens win by 14, and then you get robbed of that the cover. So I wouldn't do that. Now for me, this is a game the Ravens need. Obviously, they need to have this game. Should be an easy W. The Giants are struggling between Drew Lock or DeVito. I'm not sure who's starting this game. But Drew Lock looked like ass. DeVito didn't look better the week before. Talent-wise, Neighbors is there. I would like for them to put Neighbors and Wiggins for a little bit head-to-head and see how Wiggins does. And if Wiggins is getting burned, then you just, fix that. The big thing with the Giants is that front four. That front four is good. That's basically the life of this team, the front. So how the guards, we had issues against the front of the Eagles, the Georgia boys. So we'll see how we deal with the Giants front. Look, this is a game that ideally, if you're the Ravens, this is what you want. Start fast, and you up comfortable in the third quarter. Doesn't matter if you end up winning by 7. If you're up comfortable by the third quarter, you bench your starters in the fourth because you have a game against the Steelers on Saturday, right? The Steelers are playing the Eagles and you're playing the Giants. It's a road game for us. It's also a road game for the Steelers, although still in Pennsylvania. But this is a game that you come in and you need to show. If you lose this game, first of all, I'm going to lose my mind. But second, don't talk to me about playoffs. Don't talk to me about anything. You losing to the Giants at this stage of you're coming from a bye, too, right? The Ravens are coming from a bye week. There's no overlooking the Giants because, again, even though they're not that good of a team, it should not be a trap game. You should be focused, take care of business early, move on to the Steelers, right? That should be the focus. Ace, what is your expectation of this game?
Man, I gave my expectation of this game like 2 weeks ago, dog, because I didn't realize the Ravens were on a bye. And I was like, spoiler alert, Ravens are going to kill the Giants. And there's no metrics, dog, needed for this one. There was no research. There was no prep work.
Exactly.
Like, I didn't need to pull out the Batman belt for this one. The Giants are ass, dog, and they are probably the worst team in the NFL as it stands. They're probably like the second worst team with Danny Dimes. Now he's not even there. I mean, they have Malik Neighbors. That's all you can really say about them. The defense is pretty solid.
No, they're starting Tommy DeVito again because
they're starting Tommy in this game.
Oh my God. Like, bro, this team is done. They've tapped out. This would be the biggest upset, I feel like, almost in like NFL history if the Giants pull this off. I don't see it happening.
I'll be so upset.
I think the Ravens are just gonna roll through them, bro. This is gonna be an easy one for the Ravens. Bounce back. This is just one of those games you want to get up on them, and just get out of this one without any injuries, right? Like that's what you kind of want from this one. So I'm going to take the Ravens in this one. I think that they easily roll through this Giants team, and I think that they just go ahead and get this victory, man. Not
Hey
much.
man, guess who the last quarterback to throw a touchdown pass for the Giants is?
Oh,
Danny
my.
Dimes?
Nah, it's Dan.
It's Daniel Jones.
Oh, my
Current member of the Bills practice squad. Daniel Jones.
Wait, no, he's signed for the Vikings. He's in the Vikings.
Oh, the Vikings practice squad. Yes.
wow.
That is the last man to have thrown a touchdown for
Sad.
the New York Giants. So,
Damn.
yeah, no wonder Malik Neighbors is out there furious, by the way. He's having a good season, 819 yards. I can understand why he's like, we suck. Why y'all not just throwing that thing to me?
Every single play, just throw it. That's the worst that can happen. You get picked, we lose.
I mean, like, this is a full Josh Gordon situation, right? Like, this is just why we doing anything else. When we go to get this ball to Wendell Moore, makes no sense. This Giants team has also lost 8 games in a row. Their last win was in Seattle. Again, Daniel Jones is likely the last quarterback to win. Yet, what's definitely the last quarterback to win them a football game all the way back October 6th. Yeah, man, they're not good. They got beat by Dallas. They got beat 14-11 by New Orleans. They can't put up points. If Baltimore loses to the Giants with like Lamar Jackson healthy, send up every red flag, because even if this is a trap game, even if you do overlook them, even if you didn't watch 1 minute of film this week for Baltimore, you should still win by 14, dog. Like, I don't even want to hear like, oh, we slept on them. It's the NFL. Nah, there's no like, there's no way for 4 quarters they're gonna be able to just put it on the screen, y'all. Just put it on the screen.
I agree. I think this is a game that you should try to come in hot, quick, go up early. And again, in the fourth quarter, you bench people, and if you end up winning by 7 because you bench the starters, I don't care really at that point, because then you can go a little bit fresh to the Steelers.
Josh Johnson still the backup.
He is.
All right, get ready, Josh. Hey, look, this is the week where Josh doing more to scout team. He like, hold on, I got to make sure I know the plays.
We all have witnessed how bad this Bengals defense is this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
This team scored 7 on them with Daniel Jones, dog. They scored 7 on this Bengals defense, the worst defense that I feel like I've seen in the NFL.
They haven't had a 300-yard passer all year.
Yeah. Okay. I think that this pretty much sums it up for this. The votes 75-25. I don't think we need to discuss much more at this game. The 188 says Q. Let's combine numbers of times edge rushers get double team. And
hey man, you're not gonna convince me that Myles Garrett isn't better than TJ Watt. Like, you're not gonna convince me. You're not changing my mind. Like, when you think you're gonna give me a stat, I'll be like, oh yeah, that completely negates everything I've watched for the last 4 years. Like, come on. Like,
okay, let's talk about the Bengals. Bengals playing the Titans. Now, this is a game where the 2 strongest side of each team face each other. Like, we have Bengals offense and the Titans, their defense is the good part of that team, right? So the Titans offense is bad. There's Will Levis.
Is it the good part of that team, or is it actually good? Like, I don't
They're
know.
decent. They're decent. They're not. Yeah, they're decent. I wouldn't say that they're top of the league. They're probably a little bit over mid. I'll consider them.
Mike Vrabel don't look good for you, buddy. They got rid of you, and the defense got better because they were bad defensively last year.
They got our secondary coach. He's the D coordinator, and he's done a great job. And I don't think Willis Snead has been playing lately. I don't know if he's going to be playing this game. Their biggest problem is, Levis is out there sometimes throwing picks, and obviously that kills the defense. But Ace, what is your expectations? Obviously, I know you're in your book, Bengals are done. They're technically not done if they win this game, especially.
Yeah. I mean, when I say that they're done, I'm saying that even with them going, they could go 9-8, right? They need so much shit that to go their way that I just don't think that shit's gonna happen. Like it's like I think personally the Colts or the Broncos end up with that spot. I just don't see that. So when I say like it's a wrap, that's not for me to say like, oh, they're just gonna lose all of these games. I'm saying even at best case scenario, I still think that they're missing the playoffs. I don't think that they're gonna get like the little tap in that they need for it to be like, oh, playoff berth, 7th seed. Like they can't even get the 6th seed right now. So that's what I mean by that. With this one, man, I mean Titans, Bill Callahan, Will Levis. I think you're right to say that the only path to victory, I think, for the Titans in this one has to be through their defense. It is it's a solid defense. So they got some good players over there. I still remember them from the championship game that we had against them, or I think divisional round game. Yeah, divisional round game. The question marks, I think, for the Titans is Will Levis the guy, right? And what they can do on offense. Can they be consistent on offense? I don't know that they've proven that, but this was a team that did pull the upset over the Texans. So I don't think that you can sleep on this team. This game is, I believe, in Tennessee. From a Bengals standpoint, it is going to be tough because they do have Cheeto there. Cheeto, obviously a former Bengal, playing day in, day out against Jamar Chase, against T. Higgins. He may have some things that he can talk to with their defensive coordinators for tips on how to guard these guys or at least slow them down. So that's a concern. But I think where it really starts at is the Bengals offense. I mean, can they continue to keep up the pace? They have to. If the Bengals offense doesn't, you cannot depend on the defense to stop anything. Can they continue to play complementary football? And by that, I just mean, bro, get a 3-and-out or force a punt, force 2 punts a game. That's as good as it's going to get with this Bengals defense in terms of them getting stops, because they have not shown that they can stop anybody outside of this last Cowboys game, and they had Cooper Rush at quarterback.
By the way, this is the same team that just lost to the Jaguars 10-6.
Yeah, they're not really that good. I wasn't a big believer in Callahan, especially as offensive coordinator, let alone as a head coach. But he is familiar with the Bengals staff and what they like to do. So that kind of gives them somewhat of an advantage. I'm going to take the Bengals in this one. The Titans, I just can't see them being a team that's serious enough. And, somebody, Will Levis, dog, I can't believe in him. I know there's been like a mix between him and Mason Rudolph. I know he took a big hit last week, so I haven't checked the injury report. I don't know if he's in concussion protocol or if Will Levis will even be playing this game. But it is a dangerous game. Like this, like by no means make it. I'm not trying to make it seem like there's no way the Titans can't win this game. I just have more faith in Joe Burrow when it comes down to a quarterback for quarterback matchup. I'm going to take the Bengals in this one. I don't think that it's going to be – well, this Titans offense can't really score. I mean, they're up and down, dog, because they scored a lot in the Texans game, but they didn't score in the last couple of games. So I think that this one will be closer than people think. I think it'll be similar, very similar to this Cowboys game. The Bengals probably should win by more, but I think that they just squeak one out on this, and I think it probably ends with like a Will Levis interception or something like that to clinch the game. So I'm going to go with the Bengals on this one over the
Will Levis is supposed to play, by the way.
Okay. Yeah, he took a nasty hit, bro. It was kind of scary.
They have your boy there too. Don't forget about your boy. Revenge game, Tyler Boyd.
Oh, that's where he is.
Q is like, where's he been?
I forgot all about him.
Tyler Boyd is posting like pictures and stuff that's not Titans uniforms now. So I'm like, oh, that's the way the season is going. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, he got 317 yards. And he's been healthy every game.
Yeah. Yep.
It's rough. It's rough life over there.
Right.
What do you think?
I know that Westbrook Akine guy has been like pretty good for them, but I don't think Ridley's doing anything. I don't think TB's doing anything.
Westbrook Akine been good. He got 30 more yards than Tyler Boyd.
Oh, well, damn. Yeah. He must have just got him there. 117 against the Vikings. Goddamn.
Mm-hmm.
And I know he had now I do know he had a long one against the Texans just because for gambling purposes, I had to watch that game, and it pissed me off because it was the only one on my parlay that they lost. But I know he had like a long touchdown in that one too.
Hey man, all I know, Calvin Ridley 738 yards. People told me that was a good deal, and the Browns Jerry Jeudy deal was a terrible one. Yeah, don't look like those deals were as advertised during the off season. I wish I had more to cheer about than that, but yeah.
Who do you think wins, Q?
Man, come on. Come on.
That's it.
I understand the Bengals are coming off a pretty concerning performance, like they barely beat, like letting the Cowboys score on them and all that stuff. Man, the Titans bring nothing to the table. I know Ace was being generous, saying, "Hey, man, well maybe Brian Callahan, like being familiar with the Bengals, might help them." But I would like to offer the opposite. Who knows Brian Callahan more than the Bengals? Like
Goes both ways.
Yeah. This seems like a little brother, older brother situation, right? Like I don't think Brian has the advantage there. So yeah, I just don't really see a pathway for Tennessee unless you get like an inexplicably bad Joe Burrow game, which you're probably not getting, or like there's just outside of shenanigans, there's really no way that the Tennessee Titans are going to be able to beat them this week. The Tennessee Titans are like a really bad team this year. Like they lost to the Jaguars, and you want to know how bad the Jaguars are? They lost the game to Deshaun Watson this year. Like that's how bad the Jaguars are. So
that was Jaguars with McCorkle Jones. Not even.
Oh yeah, Mac Jones Jaguars.
Yeah,
dog.
Mac Jones. Yeah,
like that's what the Jaguars were doing when they had their franchise guy in.
Yeah,
right. Now they out here Mac Jones, and you somehow lose a game to them. Yeah, the Titans just, even if defense is their strength, like when defense is your strength and you don't have a good record, that shit usually doesn't go well, right? Because the effort that you need to keep a defense playing at that level will eventually peter out. It'll start out, oh yeah, we giving it to Joe Burrow. Jeffrey Simmons gets a couple sacks, but let them go like 3 drives straight on offense, 3 and out, and then like throw an interception to put the defense against the wall, and the next thing you know, the Bengals are up by 2 scores, and all that defense should go out the window. So yeah, man, I got Cincinnati. I got them by the points and then some.
Yeah, let me see the odds right now, or the line is -5 Cincy. I'll take that bet.
-5.
-5 Cincy.
So what? Now, they went by a touchdown.
They were -5 against the Cowboys, and they squeaked it at the end. But because I did parlay them.
Is this game on the road?
It is on the road. It's in Tennessee.
Yeah, but the Tennessee ain't Jerry World. Like, nah. This is gonna be a healthy victory. Like, eat your vegetables.
Okay, so Fambo here, 70-30 Bengals. Let's go to the next one. By the way, Jared is gonna post a video later. He couldn't make it today. So for those Steelers fans that are here, like, where's Jared? He's gonna post.
Get him a tattoo of Jameis Winston. So you guys make sure you put that in the comments. Ask him, was it a tattoo of Jameis?
His favorite player.
His favorite player. We need the Steelers to sign him as a backup. That would be.
That would be
incredible. We need to have him get overconfident in the Steelers next year and say, "Hey man, you want to bet the division? And then if you lose, you got to have a Jameis Winston Steelers jersey in your background." or like a Jameis Winston fat head.
That would be spectacular.
Oh my god.
Next game is Chiefs and Browns. Q.
Yeah.
You get my homie coming to Cleveland.
We get the best team in the NFL this week.
What are you thinking?
Well, I don't. It's not going to be fun.
This is a game, by the way, this is a game that I feel like
maybe there could
Miles
be like
Harris will eat, right? Because their left tackle situation is iffy.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun to see Miles take the sack lead, right? Like, I wouldn't be mad at that. Maybe this could be a trap game. Maybe because they play Pittsburgh the week after. But we're talking about the two-time champions, man. They're not gonna sleep on us. We're talking about Travis Kelce, who loves Cleveland and like is not gonna overlook a game versus the Browns. Look, I expect the Chiefs come in here and at least cover against this Browns team. Defensively, there might be some things that they could do early on to hold off Pat. But again, it's kind of that same thing that I talked about with the Titans and the Bengals. Like, yeah, you might start off, beating your chest. Miles got 3 sacks in the first half. Oh, yeah, we only down 7-3. And then you come back out and you miss a field goal or Jameis throws a pick 6. And the next thing you know, you're down 17-3, and that defensive effort just ain't going to be there for the rest of the game because you done fucked it up. So yeah, I don't expect the Browns to be very competitive in this one. I would be happy if they gave it a close game. It is Kansas City, right? They are the Miami Dolphins, your Hurricanes of the NFL this year. So maybe they play a close game just cause. And if they do that, that's dangerous because the Browns aren't talent deprived. They just stink this year, right? Like the Bengals are the same thing, where it's like the Bengals are not talent deprived. For whatever reason, they just stink this year. Like shit just ain't going their way. They're getting bad bounces, and it's reflecting on their win-loss record. The Browns can beat a good team, and they have. They beaten the Ravens. They beaten the Steelers. Mm-hmm. So if they're not serious and they mess around and let the Browns hang around in the fourth quarter, that could be something that bites them in the ass. I just don't expect it. I think that they'll come out, handle business. This game would be nice and close for the first half. Maybe in the third quarter, we're still trading blows just a little bit. But eventually, Jameis Winston being your quarterback is probably going to matter in a game where you're playing an opponent this good.
Yeah, for me, this is a little bit more interesting, to be fair, than the other two. The Ravens and the Bengals game. I think those games, I feel like the Ravens should take care of it easily. I think the Bengals are going to win by 10. I forgot to put my score prediction. Because how the Chiefs have played this year, it is one of those games that doesn't matter who the Chiefs have played. They make it close. And I can see Myles Garrett be disruptive in this game. Now, Myles Garrett likes to come up in this game's big, right? So the question is simple. Is Jameis Winston going to be throwing pick sixes or not? Because if he's throwing pick sixes, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. You can sustain the field goal kick, the kicker missing field goals, and still be in the game. But a pick 6 or 2 or whatever, that's going to be a killer. I think the Chiefs will win. I think the Chiefs will win only by 3. Right now, the line's -4. I wouldn't bet that one. Because the Chiefs right now, everything is close with them. And if you have a strong D-line, especially the left tackle position for that has been asked, especially the right tackle is not great either. So the edges can be taken, can be had. The one problem that Jameis has, to be fair with Jameis, in previous years, under Stefanski, and didn't matter the quarterback, the run game was always strong. So you can always rely, I have a strong game, so I don't have to ask my quarterback to do too much. And it's just the run game was so strong, the play action will be better, right? The run game, and the funny thing is, forget about Chubb for a moment. It didn't matter who the running back used to be over there in Cleveland. Everybody was eating. But now, I don't know, the O-line hasn't been able to get the push. Holes haven't been created. And obviously that hurts Winston because now you're asking Winston to do a little more. And when you ask Winston to do a little more, well, you see what happens. I think it's going to be an entertaining game. I had Cleveland losing by 3. Chief winning by 3. I wouldn't take the -4 for the, I will bet Cleveland +4 if I was betting this game. But I think it's going to be a way better entertaining game than the other 2 games. Ace.
Look, man, what is this? This is like 14 consecutive games that Kansas City has had 1-score games in, right? With that last victory that they got with the doink.
Yeah, doink.
I think this is a potential trap game for them. This is a game that I think that if they're
They
not
played it, by
messing
the way. They
around,
played the Texans because Q. You said they're playing Steelers. They're playing the Texans next
Oh,
week.
okay. So they got the
yeah,
Texans then the Christmas game.
if they mess
They got
around
the
in
Steelers.
this one, if they mess around in this one, Cleveland could pull the upset. Cleveland's a good team. They're a good defense, right? Like it hasn't worked out, but they're not a slouch, right? Like they're not a bad team. Like they can do some things. And I feel like this Kansas City team, even though I respect them, they're the champs are going for the three-peat, I feel like they're kind of lollygagging through the season. They're getting away with these victories, but it's like by the skin of their teeth. And I just feel like you can't keep doing that. It kind of reminds me a lot, actually, of the Steelers from that one year where they were like 11-1. They were just running through everybody, but it was like, dog, they're barely winning some of these games. And if the right team catches them, and I think they even did this a couple seasons ago, they played, I think it was the Texans or some team they shouldn't have lost to. They ended up losing to.
Oh, you know who team that was?
What team was it?
You know what team that? There's no way. You talking about that Steelers team that was 12-0?
No, not the Steelers team.
Oh,
I'm
like,
talking
ain't no way you forgot.
I'm talking about
that.
the Chiefs. The Chiefs. It was like the Chiefs. I want to say it was the year before the Texans got C.J. Stroud or something. Like they lost like a game like that towards the end of the season, and it was like, no, how did they lose that game? But yeah, the Bengals definitely, yeah. If we're talking about the Steelers, yeah, but the Chiefs always kind of drop a game that they shouldn't. And I think like the resilience of Jameis Winston, I know that he turns the ball over, but he still has the ability to try to make something happen. And I think that he just has the resilience to make this team not give up, right? Now he can't turn the ball over and expect to win, but I think that these guys do play for them. Watching the Hard Knocks, it's clear that Kevin Stefanski is still respected in that locker room, and guys are still fighting for him. So this is a potential trap game, I think, for Kansas City, and it's in Cleveland. I don't know what the weather is going to look like, if it's going to snow or not. That's something to keep an eye on. I'm going to give it to Kansas City, but I think that this is going to be a close game, bro, and they could lose this game.
Yeah, they did almost lose to the Panthers and the Raiders back to back.
Yeah, bro. Like they're not a they are just like getting by the skin of their teeth on these games, and so
maybe they're bored.
That luck's got to run out eventually at some point.
Maybe they're bored, right? Like
they are bored, bro. They are bored.
Yeah, but I don't know. I get that feeling that okay, this could be a trap game. It's just the Browns have not done the small things right to be able to win. Like we don't make field goals, we don't take care of the football, we don't get off the field on 3rd and long. Like these are the things you're gonna have to do well to beat Kansas City, and those have all been like weaknesses for us all year long. I hope we can. It'd be fun. Like, it's not like I care about the draft position, right? Like you're gonna be somewhere in the top 10 whether you win or lose. But that's where I find it hard to pull off. And like I feel like I'm due to get it's patted, right? Like I'm gonna get it's pat. Like I did it too many times to the Bengals, so like it's probably gonna be an it's pat moment. And Kareem Hunt, got some beef with Cleveland in that return game. I don't think they're sleeping on this. Like I don't think that the Chiefs are gonna come in and sleep on this one. I think they're going to be fired up because they're going to want to win this one for Kareem. They're going to want to win this one for Travis. It's one of them things like the Steelers never slept on us. It wasn't because we was good. It was just because they had a couple dudes on that team had beef with us, right? Like,
why does Travis have beef? He played for Cincy.
No, Travis don't got beef. He just loved Cleveland.
Oh, he does play.
Yeah, he gonna be all excited, right? Like bringing a girlfriend to this one, right?
Yeah.
And then Kareem got beef.
Like, Kareem, yeah. He does
Kareem got beef.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, they're gonna be motivated for this one. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. Maybe we're gonna get one of those crazy Jameis Winston games. He done gone a couple games straight throwing the interception. So he's due up to have one of them. Hey, maybe Jameis can be the long-term answer guy games, right? So maybe you get that, but it's going to take something out the ordinary to happen for Cleveland to win this game. If everything goes as everything should, the Chiefs going to win this game.
Okay. So, like I said, the line was -4. I think it's going to be a fun game. I actually wouldn't be shocked, like Ace, if we're here
Myles
talking.
Garrett,
I think he's going to
the
eat.
Chiefs have a glaring issue.
They just signed the guy. I forgot the name.
Myles Garrett could have like 4 sacks in this game, dog.
By the way, I would just like to do the victory lap. Hey, bro, you think Roger Rosengard is better than Kingsley Sumatia?
Rosengarten. I love Rosengarten.
Yeah. I remember when I suggested, hey, Rosengarten could go early second. Everybody was like, what? Quincy's just fanboying over this. I was like, okay, all right. Yeah, watch that brother play football. Okay.
I love him. I mean, I love him too. When people were saying that he was at the round, I'm like, hopefully, because we had a late second.
I'm definitely gonna take my victory lap on them Chiefs fans that was like, oh yeah, Orlando Brown was horrible and we can replace him. Yeah. How does that look now? How does that look now?
The problem that the Chiefs had in the case of Orlando Brown is they decided to replace Orlando Brown with the poor version of Orlando Brown, a guy that is always injured and has never played left tackle, always gets paid money to play left tackle, and all the teams keep moving him to right. Anyway, I think you know what? I'm picking the Browns. I'm picking the Browns.
I'm
picking the Browns by a point.
All right, Sonny, I respect it. Like
I'm picking the Browns by a point. Go Brown. I think they win by a point. Squeak it by. Also, no, K York is in the Bengals. I thought K York for a moment was over there. Okay, the marquee matchup for the AFC North
only
is the
thing that can
Pennsylvania.
bring this one close is if Juju Smith-Schuster decides to dance on the Browns logo pregame. Remember when he used to do that?
Yeah.
Like,
You don't hear from you no more in these
Yeah,
days.
we ended that. It was no more dancing on the
do you
logo.
still have that account? Like, is he still on TikTok? I haven't seen a TikTok since that day. It's like what? Bob Bell knocking the TikToks out of him, and Derrick Henry threw ET out the league, right?
Yeah. Okay, so this is the marquee game, the Pennsylvania game. Eagles have won 8 straight, I think. Right? I think it's 8 straight. The thing, big thing here with the Eagles is, talk about a team that is on thin edge. As if this game, like if I'm the Steelers, if you clamp down AJ Brown, right, just to frustrate, I can see him exploding in this game because it feels like everything is simmering in that locker room, and I have no faith in the coaching staff as a person that can bring the temperature down. I don't know, man. I think the Eagles are the better team for this game. I think if everything is in peace, I think the Eagles can pull this game. The Eagles have a strong O-line. So obviously how the Steelers beat you is they put a lot of pressure, right? Highsmith, Herbert, T.J. Watt, a lot of pressure, Patrick Queen on the blitzes. And then that helps the corners play. But the Eagles O-line is pretty good. So if the Steelers come to this game, they cannot create pressure, that could be an issue. That being said, a guy that does not look good on the pressure is Jalen Hurts. I feel like I don't know what happened with him after that Super Bowl. He has regressed, in my opinion. Overall, I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback, but when you think about the Super Bowl that they lost, right? And now we're talking about a guy that looked to be, oh my God, this Jalen Hurts is gonna be the next big guy. I don't know if anybody thinks of him like that no more. You know, nobody thinks he's garbage, but
he's firmly in the Dak tier, right? Like
that's what I was getting. You feel like he is like Dak, like he's good
in the NFC type shit, like you know, like.
And now, and he has he has a really good offensive line. A hell of a back in Saquon Barkley, right? Not only a runner, a guy that you pass it to him in open space. What are you gonna do? And 2 good receivers and a good tight end. Like, it's not like Jalen Hurts is here looking like, well, I have no weapons. No, he has everything that you need for a quarterback. Now, this is the thing. What is the Steelers gonna do with Saquon? Not only on the running game, But who's picking Saquon on the open field? Because I know PQ wasn't that guy with us. Wasn't that guy that if Saquon's going on a wheel route, PQ's lost, right? So who's that guy? Is it Peyton Wilson? I'm not sure. Definitely gonna be a interesting. I think it's gonna be a good game. This is not me saying I'm dunking on the Steelers. The Steelers, this is gonna be a bad game. I think it's gonna be a good game if the Steelers can create pressure, and if the Steelers can slow down Barkley. I think the Steelers win. For now, I'm picking the Eagles, but I'm not confident in that because again, there's so much drama over there for a team that is only 2-loss team. I had no idea.
I will say this though, AJ Brown is the original George Pickens. So like, yeah, he got a problem with not getting the ball. Let me tell you something. That don't mean nothing I gotta be worried about. He gonna get 130, right? Especially like you look at this Steelers secondary, it's not that impressive. You look at the volume of wide receivers that can throw on them. And here's the other thing that I think is the problem for Pittsburgh in this game. George Pickens is not playing, right?
No.
Like he's not going to be playing in this game. You got Van Jefferson and Mike Williams out there running routes against that secondary in Philadelphia. How are you going to move the ball? And the thing to note from that Browns-Steelers game last week, which is, okay, they scored 27 points, but if you really look into how they scored 27 points, 17 of them were because the Browns gave them the ball within their own 50. So that offense really wasn't moving the ball that much until the game got cracked open late because of turnovers. Before then, that offense looked abysmal. Now, the question is, can they run the ball on Philly? I don't know if they're going to be able to run the ball on Philly. Philly got a really strong front seven there. So if Philly can stop the run and then make it be about Russ trying to throw to these outside options that aren't going to be able to get open, then I don't think Pittsburgh's going to be able to move the ball that much. On the other side of it, I think Philly matches up well with what Pittsburgh has because, yeah, you worried about TJ Watt, but Wayne Johnson going to race TJ Watt in this one, right? More than likely. So you're not really worried about that. They got good enough play on both sides of the offensive line. They have a really good offensive line. They're going to be able to run the ball on Pittsburgh if they want to and if they commit to it. And they're going to be able to throw on. Like, I think this just is a matchup that leans towards Philly. Hey, look, if Pittsburgh wins this one, that changes how I view them, right? Because you beat a legitimate team without George Pickens, all right, you got something. You got something that I did not see clearly. But as of right now, I just don't see it for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, one thing also to think about, even though they have played out really good, we're talking about Frazier and McCormick, right? Two guys that I like coming on the draft. They both have delivered so far. Those Georgia boys are a different story. You have two of them coming at you at all time. Second, even
Jalen Carter is real.
Yo, Jalen Carter is a beast. Jordan is he's good.
Jordan Davis takes up space, but but Jalen Carter is real.
Yes,
yes,
I agree.
So, Zach Braun behind him playing very well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But what I was gonna say, one thing that Russ struggled, not his fault. A lot of on the shorter side, guys struggle here. Is with tall D linemen, right? Saying that, this is why Russ early in his career he will move the pocket, right? He will move. So Drew Brees, if you look at Drew Brees, he used to throw his tippy toes. Mm-hmm. Big D lineman over there in Philly. Big D lineman. These guys are giants and they're good. So we'll see. I think it's gonna be a good match. I'm very interested to see how Arthur Smith, what is the scheme that he's gonna bring in this game. I still think Philly pulls it. The line I think is big in my opinion. It's Eagles -5.5. That seems like a large line. I think the Eagles win, but I think the Eagles win by 3. Ace, what is your thoughts?
Yeah, man. I think with this game, there was a comment that really made me feel a type of way last show. And they were like, I was talking about how explosive George Pickens is, and he's a big part of the Pittsburgh offense. And somebody was like, yeah, this guy doesn't watch games because he just thinks it's just him and not Russ. Well, this is the game we're gonna find out. Because if we're acting like George Pickens is not a big part of the Pittsburgh Steelers offense, we gonna find out this week. Because man,
if you could replicate that with what Mike Williams and Calvin Austin, like okay, on a regular basis,
what Van Jefferson's gonna do.
Yeah,
can't wait to see what Calvin Austin's gonna do. Can't wait to see what Mike Williams is gonna do. And did Mike Williams play in the Bengals game? I don't know because he didn't have any catches. This is where we're gonna see what this offense truly is. I've been being nice to you guys, but you know what? When I saw that damn comment, I'm like, okay, all right, the gloves are coming off. And they're coming out for this game because this is a really good Philadelphia defense. We've already talked about my boy Coop. Y'all know what time it is with Coop. You also got Quintana.
No, don't make him say it.
We're not gonna say it, but this is a good secondary, man. It's a good defense. And when you're undermanned, and I feel like Muth is wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a tough one, man. We'll see how they do.
No faith in Najee
scenario. I just think not having George Pickens is a big deal in this matchup. He's the one that gives them the spark when they're struggling. He's not there. On the other side of things, like Sonny pointed this out. Joey Porter cannot do anything without holding receivers. I didn't know this man had 6 pass interference penalties against.
It all depends on the crew. If the crew allows him to be grabby, he's fine. If it is
but if he gets physical with AJ Brown, he might not get back up.
That is true.
There are certain wide receivers that he is going to have a problem with. AJ Brown is like because remember Amari Cooper was giving him problems last year on like one route. It's like that's going to be the problem from again because like you're going to try to get inside on AJ. That's exactly what he wants you to do. And if you try that with Schmitty got them quick hands.
Yeah.
They showing this dude working on his technique with the cornerback coach. Yeah, this not the game for that, son. AJ Brown is gonna be on that man. Like he just said, Schmitty. I think that they have a chance, but here's where I feel like Philadelphia neutralizes them. The offensive line, dog. It's a great Steelers defensive line, but it's also an excellent Eagles offensive line. That game is going to possibly be won in the trenches and which team has more weapons. And I feel like as it stands right now, even though Hurts is struggling, they still got Saquon. We'll see like what this whole like beef thing is going to do because it can go one or two ways. It can crash and burn, or this could be a game where him and AJ Brown hook up for 2 touchdowns or something like that. I think it's a story now. I think because of the circumstances, they are going to try to play balanced football. They're going to run the ball. I think you'll probably see Hurts compensate. Now, is that going to hurt him? Is that going to make him try to force some things and cause turnovers? I don't know. I tend to just feel confident that Philadelphia is the better team at this point without George Pickens. If George Pickens is there, that's the X factor for me for the Steelers. But with that being said, I'm going to take the Eagles in this one, man. They're a really good team. I know they got a lot of toxic locker room issues going on right now, but I still think they can beat the Steelers in this one. And I just can't see it, dog. Like a Steelers offense without George Pickens, you might be able to fool somebody last week, which I don't even know if people knew that George Pickens wasn't going to play in that game or not. I don't think
he was 100% expected to play.
Yeah, like it wasn't evident. So
the report in the morning was he's expected to play. He's just going to have to go through warmups.
Yeah, like you're catching the team off guard, right? So they've already went into this week fully expecting that, and so you can't change the game plan right before kickoff. We already know George Pickens not playing in this game, dog, and so I don't see you catching somebody by the surprise in this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and take Philly.
Okay, and let me see the fan vote here. Steelers winning the fan vote 72.
The Steelers are showing up this year. I don't know where y'all were at last year, but y'all showing up this year.
Know where they were at. We know Steelers fans don't show up unless they up 10. Like you would think your stadium, all your fans, and then the Steelers go up 10, and all of a sudden you see these little flags flying. Like, okay. Oh, y'all were here the whole time, but now y'all proud. Okay. That's what y'all doing. All right. Cool.
It used to be a time where no matter who they were facing in the poll, the Steelers was gonna always lose the poll. But now they are winning.
They got that belief. They got the fair weathers back now, man. They strong now, you know. Steeler Nation believes in them this year for the first time since 2020.
We have here a super chat for the 188 says close game, but I got the Eagles over Pitt.
Wow.
Look at what the 188.
Pittsburgh's gonna lose a game with the best pass rusher of all time, according to you.
The 188 also say AJ Brown side. Where is the slander for the Pittsburgh secondary coming from? What numbers is this analysis based on? Look, I think the secondary is good for the Pittsburgh.
I want to address this.
Okay, go ahead.
We're talking about what we saw in film. Like, we don't need a number to back it up. We're talking about what you see him do on tape every week, which you're not going to sit here and tell me Joey Porter Jr. is not a handsy corner. Nobody who watches him is thinking that. Okay, what do we know about AJ Brown?
Physical receiver.
Physical receiver. Does not mind if you want to get contact heavy with them, right? That's what this analysis is based off, is actually analyzing the game, right? Like, we could bring you statistics and all of that, but we're telling you what those statistics would tell you, or we're telling you what we see, you know? And what we see is that AJ Brown is the type of wide receiver who's probably going to benefit if they try to leave Joey Porter Jr. man on man, tight coverage at the top of your screen. He's probably going to win that. And Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback when he's just throwing the ball to AJ Brown. Okay,
188, bro. I know you're not bringing up T. Higgins, right? In a game where you guys gave up 40 points. Are we really talking about another team that you're playing with two wide receivers? And what did the numbers say in that game? What did they say in that game? Were you guys stopping the pass in that game? This is another team with two really good wide receivers. Now, I get it. T didn't have the best game in that game, but your boy had 6 penalties called on him. A lot of them were on T. Higgins. So, I mean, we could talk about numbers and all of that, but like Hard Knocks literally did a segment, dog. A segment on Joey Porter being too handsy. Like, it is what it is, bro. Like, it is what it is.
This has been what it's out about him since he was at Penn State. This is not a surprise, right?
It's not new.
He's being obtuse if he's acting like he doesn't understand that. But yeah, it's just, I like the matchup for Philadelphia this week, right? If this were like a week where you're going up against, like, who has receivers, I'm like, I don't think it really matters that much if you press them, because they're not that style of wide receiver, right? Like the Houston Texans, right? Like, okay, I'm not really tripping because like Nico Collins and all that, like you could press them. It's not going to be that big of a deal here. But like AJ Brown, he one of them old school yet guys. Right? You mess around and miss a punch with him, he's gone.
And you got a pissed off AJ Brown that's saying that they're not passing enough.
AJ Brown that does want to fight, right? Like,
that is fair. That is fair. Look, we went through all 4 games.
Hold on, bro. I had to go back because they said. So, do you guys consider 5 receptions for 69 yards and a touchdown shutting a receiver down?
No, that's a good game.
That's what T. Higgins had against the Steelers. Jamar Chase had 6 receptions, 86 yards, and a touchdown.
You would have an easier time arguing with me that that's more shutting Jamar Chase down, because Jamar Chase could go off for 200 than that's shutting down T. Higgins. Like 65, like that's work.
Yeah.
How many Iacevas had? That's what I need to know.
He had 3 for 38 and a touchdown.
Yeah, they didn't shut nothing down. Like those are normal numbers, man. Like they got their numbers on you. Well, how much Joe had in that game?
Look,
Joe had 309, 3 touchdowns, and 1 pick.
Yeah, man, you can't tell me that he got shut down when the quarterback had 309 and 3.
So he says here, Ohio sports fans live in sheer delusion. Joker, Foley, Docs. I don't know what that means.
I don't know, man, but I bet if we pressed him, he'd say something silly like Russ is better than Joe Burrow. So, like,
I didn't watch the Joker, bro. And I'm a fan of the first one, but when they said it was gonna be a musical, I was out. I was like, nah, dog,
Look, I
not
have
here.
seen the generation of people who have dressed up like the Joker after the Heath Ledger Batman movie. And I just have to say, I have never had more disdain for a group of individuals than anybody who's ever dressed up as the Heath Ledger Joker for Halloween and did the voice. I done did it. I done heard y'all. So when that Joker movie came out, I was like, I don't need anything encouraging this, dog. I'm never seeing this movie. I hate the Joker. Like
Anyway, we'll see. Again, this is obviously gonna be a good game. I think that and the Cincinnati, not the Cincinnati, Cleveland game should be good. The other two, again,
Who do you got, Sonny? Who you got in this one?
I said the Eagles by 3, but in a close
Are
game.
you delusional too? Because I don't think me and Quincy said that they're gonna get blown out. I think we just picked Philadelphia.
Yeah, no. I just think right now, I said minus the potential of an implosion in Philadelphia. Like during the game, people are getting pissed off and all that. I think the Eagles have multiple ways that they match up well against the Steelers. Not having Pickens is big because with Pickens out there, Russ throws that rainbow, that moonball, whatever it is that they're calling
It's the explosive. It's the explosive plays, and like I've said countless times this season, the Steelers are like not the most explosive offense. The team that or where they get their explosive plays is from George Pickens. Mm-hmm. Where the Eagles get their explosive plays are from those three guys that we're talking about. Saquon Barkley with the 20-yard runs. You're talking about Devonta Smith with the 20-yard catches. A.J. Brown with the 20-yard catches. They don't have that. That's what I'm saying. Like when you go to war with this Eagles offense, you got to score points, dog. And I just don't know if they can score them at the clip that the Eagles can. So that's my point.
Yeah, and the only thing with the Eagles, which I have not seen this year, right? Last year they had the tendency to self-destruct. They're not doing that this year as much as they did last year. That's the only thing that I'm like, okay, well, maybe that could happen for Pittsburgh. It's like, hey, if the Eagles go in there self-destruct, but I don't think they're about to self-destruct. I think this is like normal. Everybody's mad at everybody because we almost barely beat the Panthers, and then they'll have a good week of practice and be fine the game after.
Okay, so last one, the 188 A's take away Jamar's garbage long play against the soft zone against Pittsburgh at the end of the game. What was his number?
We can't take away
Jamar's longest reception, and it doesn't look that impressive.
Take away George Pickens' longest reception.
Hey, I got one for you. I got one for the 188. I wonder if you'll ever hit me back on this stat. You know my Instagram and my Twitter, so you go ahead and tweet it to me. If you take out every single one of T.J. Watt's sacks that happened after 3 seconds in the pocket time for a quarterback, how many sacks does he actually have? Since we want to subtract stats, I mean, we want to play that game. Hey, you're going to be surprised to find out TJ Watt got like 50 career sacks by that metric. But, if we want to play that game, but at the end of the day, bro, he got them yards. Like, y'all let him get them yards. And did he have to blow the angle of like 2 safeties in order to get all them yards in that play? Like, he did something. Hey, you want to act like Jamar Chase ain't special, bro. That's all you. Like...
Get that Narc says Steelers haven't won in Philly since 1965.
Yep, damn. It's been a long time.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, we'll leave it there. Come back on Tuesday, by the way. The 188 and all the Steelers fans. If you win, you have a lot to talk about.
Talk shit. If you win, if the Steelers fans, if you win this game, you know what? I ain't gonna say nothing about any hopes that y'all have for the rest of the year because it might happen, right? Like if y'all are able to win this game, but if y'all don't win this game. And it does look exactly like how people saying it might look. Where it's like, oh man, that offense looks a little stale without George Pickens. Or oh man, Russ starts to look like Russ again without George Pickens in there. Because like if you look at Russ's stats, it's just playing the George Pickens lottery. Where it's like, I'm just throw that shit up to him. And if he get one long one, it start to change the math on all this stuff. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think they're gonna win this game. But if they do, I'll be surprised, and that does change how I look at them.
Okay, well, take it easy, my guys. We'll see you here Tuesday, recapping all this game. Till next time, peace out.